Gambia's first president, Sir Dawda Kairaba Jawara, is reportedly born in this house in Barajali in the Central River region of the country, according to family sources. It seems the legendary Kairaba attached to his name, which in Mandinka means peace, was carved shortly after he was born.
Chosano tarta nun janne yem bungu yake nun chosan bungulti because ne aje ni be Gambia la tariko jibe la ne tariko jibe nyanda nyim fana mbulandi la tariko kono kato amu Gambia e tariko leti e tariko ma Gambia kono ni nyanda bula la jele wasa tele mu mansa foloti la me yalon ko nada ke fana mansa kew nyen wuluta wala kono yalo mu tariko leti bungu nyi sai abe keba ya kande ando narra ko mansa kunda nata yebulo don je so e baje la ko bunyi sa menten nole pour jamane koton me ya lon ko e binakan fem fem be Gambia la tariko safela abe nyum bulande la jele.
Jawara hailed from a family that derives its sustenance from traditional farming. The Gambia is a predominantly agricultural nation which is mostly ascribed to rural settlements popularly known as upcountry or the provinces. Its beautiful landscape also tends to give the nation a comparative advantage when it comes to tourism. For many people, the Gambia prides itself as an oasis of hospitality and political stability. Historian Hasum Sise knows full well that the Jawara legacy needs to be preserved for the sake of political and historical posterity.
Sir Dawda's legacy is really that of a founding father to this country. He led us into independence. He led us successfully out of the dilemmas of independence, the dilemmas of, like the improbable state, the country not, well equipped to survive as an independent state. It also has the legacy of strengthening the rule of law, of broadening, the democratic space, freedom of speech, Gambia, becoming the capital of human rights in Africa, the Gambia becoming like a major tourist, destination, okay, and like a lot of other, things. Now, Sir Dawda's legacy is also that of good neighborliness with Senegal and with all the other neighbors. Sir Dawda's legacy is also the legacy of having strong and mutually beneficial ties with the great powers, with the United Kingdom, with France. For example, France gave us Gambia'S, with the US, okay, even with Russia, with China. And that was also part of his legacy. It was Sir Dawda himself, through his effort, through his subtle diplomacy, between April and June 1965, he made a tour of all the countries in West Africa to encourage them to attend the second African Organization of African Unity Summit in Accra, which was to take place in November 1965 in Accra. Because at that time, the imperialist powers, had, sort of, if you like, managed to drive a wedge, between Nkrumah and so many African, leaders, and they were being encouraged to boycott the OAU summit, knowing that if that second summit was boycotted, the OAU would have collapsed. So it was Sir Dawda who, soon after independence, visited Senegal, he visited Freetown, he visited Conakry, he visited Lagos, he visited Monrovia to encourage all these African leaders to go to Accra in November 1965 to attend the OAU summit and to discuss, issues, which will help, to further the cause of African unity. Under Sir Dawda, the Gambia was able to develop a robust and proactive Pan-African, foreign policy. So the Gambia, it was never, in the doldrums as far as the Pan-African project, was concerned.
During his active political career in office, Sir Dawda Kairaba Jawara traveled and interacted with high-profile individuals and cemented numerous bilateral agreements between the Gambia and other nations.